Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the first regular meeting of council for 2022. So we have a lot to get to tonight. Before I ask for the approval of the agenda, I will like to add an item, 5.3, update from our Community Partners Committee. Okay. And now, I guess, yes, Councillor Bender.
There we go. I did it right. Mr. Mayor, I just want to add as well, could we add just a brief discussion on fireworks, the fireworks policy?
Do you have is it something that can wait for, is there a decision to be made, or is it just?
Just as a result of New Year's Eve and number of complaints we received, I thought it would be appropriate to bring it up at our first meeting of council.
Sure.
I don't even know if we have a policy, so that's what I want to ask, right?
Yeah, where do we, we'll put that under protective services then?
Apologies for being late. Excuse me for a moment. Sorry, apologies for being late. Charles, are you Councillor Pender, are you talking about the fireworks?
Yes, issue? I just asked if we could add it to the agenda.
Okay, great. Thank you, because I was going to ask same.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So 4.2, Mayor? Was that 4.2?
Yes, we'll add that as 4.2. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Sorry. I'll mute.
Okay. So we had 4.2 fireworks, 5.2 Community Partners Committee update. Okay, would someone like to move the approval of the agenda? Okay, we have the Councillor Pender and seconded Councillor Granter. All those in favor say aye. Raise your hand.
Aye.
Contraminded? Carried. Okay. We have some minutes from the last regular meeting in December. Would someone like to move the approval of those minutes, please? Okay. You got Councillor Griffin and Deputy Mayor Chason. Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Contraminded? Carried. Councillor Granter, we have some old CC minutes to confirm in public. Or would you walk us through those, please?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. In accordance with Section 41(3) of the City of Corner Brook Act, where a decision is made by the councillors at a privileged meeting, the decision, in order to be valid, shall be ratified at a public meeting of the council. Council and committee meeting, June the 28th, 2021. It is resolved to approve minute CC 21-010, approval of agenda. Resolved to approve the agenda as circulated at that meeting. So move, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Seconder? Thank you. All those in favor? Contraminded? Carried. Next one.
It is resolved to approve minutes CC 21-012, contract negotiations with Preferred Design Build Team for Regional Recreation Center. Resolved to grant staff permission to enter into negotiations with the highest scoring design build team, Pomerleau, for the Corner Brook Regional Recreation Center. So move, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. A seconder on that one. Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Contraminded?
Aye. Aye.
Carried.
Council and committee meeting, 8th of November, 2021. It is resolved to approve minute CC 21-031. Resolved to authorize staff to submit the following projects for the 2022-2023 Investing in Canada Infrastructure Program funding in priority order. Number 1, Deep Gulch Brook Culvert Replacement. Number 2, Wastewater Treatment Site Construction Phase 1. Number 3, Curling Westside Reservoir. Number 4, Retaining Wall, Curling Street. And number 5, Smart Card System. So move, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Seconder? Here we go, Deputy Mayor. All those in favor?
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Sorry. I'm sorry if I missed anything, and I'm not trying to cause trouble or anything, but why were these minutes deferred, or why are we doing them all at once right now? Or is there a reason why? Because some of these projects would fall under the meeting that I have normally with Mr. Charters. And I'm sorry, maybe I'm confused, but I'm just wondering, why are we doing these right now?
These are meetings, so when we do our council and committee meetings for items that we can't release because of legal issues or competitive issues or HR issues and things like that, we are required to ratify them later at a public meeting. So these are ones that council already voted on and agreed to at an earlier date.
Okay.
And then we just ratify them. Yeah, we're really just saying that this happened.
Thank you. And also people that are watching might wonder why we're going bang, 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 approve. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, okay, thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
There's one more, Mr. Mayor.
Go ahead.
Council and committee meeting on the 22nd of November, 2021. That should be. It is resolved to ratify minutes CC 21-037, approve of agenda. Resolved to approve the agenda for that meeting, Mr. Mayor. So moved.
Thank you. A seconder? Seconder. Okay, seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Counterminded? Carried. Yeah, we usually don't do them in the future. It's just ones in the past for sure. So we'll get that correction there.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Okay, so we have next. Do we have any business arising from the minutes, first of all? I don't believe we do. Okay. Next, we have some protective services statistics. Councillor Griffin, would you please?
Okay, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Our municipal enforcement officers, on a monthly basis, Protective Services compiles statistics to report them out to council and to residents. And they are as follows. Our municipal enforcement officers received 80 calls for service, including as follows. Bylaw enforcement, 6 untidy property, 7 rodents, 7 calls for rodents, not necessarily 7 rodents, 3 illegal dumping, 7 to provide assistance, and 9 depositing snow onto the road. Mobile permits, we issued 2. Taxi regulations, we had 5 driver permits, 2 taxi vehicle permits. Animal control, we received 14 calls for service, 9 for roaming animals, 2 for injured or deceased animals, 3 for assistance. Parking enforcement, there was 23 parking related violations issued that included, 15 expired meters, various other parking violations, load zone, that sort of thing. The Conbrook Fire Department received 42 calls for service that included 3 structural fires, 10 commercial fire alarms, 2 residential carbon monoxide alarms, 2 residential chimney fires, 2 vehicle fires, 20 traffic collisions, 1 bomb threat, 1 wire down, and 1 non-emergency medical assistance. The Columbia Fire Department inspector conducted 11 commercial inspections and 3 home oxygen inspections. The Public Safety Answering Point, PSAP, had a total of calls were as follows. They received 858 for police, for ambulance 1,565, for fire 186, for crisis 7. Northern 911, there was 1 registry of Canadian PSAPs. There were 7 for total transferred calls of 911 calls, 2,624.
Okay, thank you very much. Any questions on that?
I had one about the bomb threat. I was wondering where that was.
Mr. Flynn? Yeah, you're muted there, Mr. Flynn. There you go, gotcha.
Here we go. I'm free now?
Free.
Yeah,
that was the provincial courthouse, Councillor Griffin.
Okay.
Annie Williams building.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions? Okay, good. Thank you very much. Next, I guess we have Councillor Gill, an update from Engineering Planning Development.
Thank you, Mayor Parsons. I've got two things going at once here now because I got my notes from my meeting and I've got the update that is generated by our staff. And thank you so much for doing those updates for us to report on. I'm going to focus on the things that I think are going to matter to the city. These will all be updated, of course, in due course. So if people want to actually read the full thing. But this particular file, engineering development planning, is fairly extensive. So you can understand why I wouldn't want to read up every single detail. The City Hall heat pumps are coming in March. So we're hoping to have some more effective heat and cooling going on through March through the summer. Just having a look here now. The St. Mary's Brook culvert is just about finished, and I know our staff are really eager to move that off the list of things to do. There were a couple of things that I made notes of, and one was the way that we assess how asphalt and the paving program is done in the city. And I was really pleased to learn that we have a very robust program, how we do that. And there is a software program that we use to measure which projects are more, critical than others. And I'm hoping that we're going to release some information about that down the road, I think, through our communications person about how we actually arrive at how we choose our paving programs. So that was really interesting here in that meeting. I'm not like a lot of this, like seriously, people, you can go on and read this yourself. I'm not going to waste your time. The only thing that I'm going to really mention is, other than the asphalt, is the storm sewer assessment program. And again, we are looking at receiving or being able to report the report that came through from our consultants. Is that fair? Mr. Charters?
Yes, sorry about that. Once we have that report finalized, we will bring back a summary of that report for council. It addresses the condition of our storm systems in the city, which, as we understand in the last couple of weeks, is critically important. So that study was, I believe, funded by us, FCM, Federation of Canadian Municipalities, and we will bring that report once finalized, a summary of it to council for their consideration.
Thanks very much. And the only other thing that I would just want to mention is that the SPCA building is scheduled to open in March. So really excited about that new facility. And congratulations to everyone that worked on that. And that's it from me.
Absolutely. And now I realize we did miss an item there, but we'll come back to that, the fireworks item. But just before we get to that, I guess, are there any other questions on the report from engineering, development, and planning? No? Okay, good. Okay, we'll back it up there to 4.2 to fireworks. I guess, I don't know, Councillor Pender, would you like to begin on that one?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. I just wanted to bring it forward because I did get a number of comments, I guess, from the residents. I had a few myself. I just noticed that during the Christmas period over the New Year's Eve, we had fireworks going on in this city for over 3 days, or 2 days, I guess. They started at around 5 o'clock just after sunset on December 31st, and people had fireworks going on all over the city. And then they continued until about 1 o'clock in the morning. And then the next day, on January 1st, we had them again, people shooting off fireworks. And so anyone who has pets, especially anybody who has a dog in particular, and I'm not sure about how other animals react, but to have fireworks going off.
Excuse me, am I the only people understanding Councillor Pender?
Sorry, Councillor Pender was just speaking what
I didn't understand that, Mr. Mayor, whatever Councillor Gill said, I think. She seems frozen there.
yeah. Go ahead anyway, Councillor.
So the concerns were, of course, that I'm not sure if we have a city policy on fireworks. I know some other communities, such as I believe St. John's, has brought in fireworks when the general public can, put off their backyard fireworks during different holidays and so on. And so it was asked if we could have that discussion and maybe bring it to staff and look at the possibility of bringing in some bylaws if we don't have a policy or bylaw regarding the use of fireworks in the city, especially on holidays like New Year's Eve or Canada Day and so on, because this indiscriminate use of fireworks all over the city going on for different days at different times. Anybody has pets knows that the effect on the animals. And so I was asked to bring it forward, which I'm doing. And I really believe that we should look at some perhaps legislation in other communities and see how they're dealing with it. But those who have brought in bylaws or legislation, it seems to have worked for those communities, setting particular times when you can have fireworks on these festive days. I love fireworks, don't get me wrong, but I also have a dog and other people have dogs and whatever other pets are affected. So I think it's an important discussion that we should have, and residents are very concerned about it.
Okay. Thank you. Councillor Gill. Councillor Gill, you can go ahead.
She's moving off again there now. But if I could speak for a second, Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor. Am I good to go?
You're freezing up all the time there, Pamela.
Oh, I'll turn off my video. Is that better? Can you hear me better now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, sorry about that. My son is probably eating up my internet as we speak. At any rate, the reason I wanted to bring this forward is the exact same reasons that Councillor Pender just stated. We had an email, of course, to all of us, and it's been an ongoing issue. And I also echo everything Councillor Pender just said. And I had a discussion with Mr. Cumby and hoping to ask Mr. Flynn if he could also look into it to see what the parameters are around what other cities of our stature are doing with respect to regulations.
Yeah, if I can speak, Mr. Mayor.
Go ahead.
We have two pieces of legislation that deal with fireworks right now, and that would be the fire prevention bylaw that covers off fireworks during the summer, and our noise bylaw, which prohibits the use of fireworks after 11 or 10 p.m. actually at night. Obviously, no one that set off the fireworks, not very few are following those regulations, and the big challenge with this is the enforcement, of course. But that said, I entertain looking at some legislation that St. John's just introduced probably and see what we could do, even if we put the awareness out there and have a bylaw that our enforcement officers could use in probably the extreme circumstances. For the most part, the fireworks is covered under provincial legislation for the storage and sale and things like that, but it doesn't really talk much about the use of them, other than a few safety things. So,
okay, thank you. And Mr. Cumby, you were trying to say something there as well. I don't know.
No, I was just going to say that I'd already been contacted by Councillor Gill and that we were, going to look at some things that other places are doing and see what we could bring back to council.
Thank you. Yeah. Anything else there?
Just wanted to add, Mr. Mayor, so thank you, staff, for that, and Councillor Gill, and I think residents would appreciate if we do come back with some sort of policy, bylaw, guideline, something that is enforceable, I guess a bylaw, that residents have an understanding of when it's appropriate to use backyard fireworks and when it isn't. And so if we can contain that to a fixed time and day of the year, I think it'll be a lot better, not only for residents, but for anybody who has any pets, I guess I'll say. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And I think the important thing is, of course, we have to consider enforcement. And so I think giving guidelines and encouraging people to do fireworks at certain times definitely would be a good idea. But it's difficult to bring in laws that we can't enforce. So I think that it makes sense to look at other jurisdictions and see if there's things that worked. Personally, I received the same, I think, one email from a resident over Christmas that I think all of council received. I just looked into our complaints line. We received exactly one complaint there as well. It's one of these issues that we have to bear in mind, I guess, that it's not easy, and it is difficult to nail it down. So, yes, Councillor Gill.
Just got a note from somebody saying I should stop interrupting anybody. Not sure what that's about. But anyway, I just wanted to say that as a result of that one email, I did float it out there on my Cornerbrook page and my personal page, Cornerbrook page. And I did have a fairly robust conversation with people in the city. So I know it's not just one person. Just going to throw it there. Thanks.
I can echo that, Mr. Mayor. It wasn't just the one email that we all received. I received multiple comments from people and discussed with people as well about the issue. So I think it's more than people probably don't think to phone in the complaints line on a New Year's Eve, but maybe they're a little more festive and generous. But it is an issue that people, yeah. So I think they're probably watching the fireworks or covering their dog's ears, one of it. But anyway, thank you, Mr. Mayor, for that. Okay,
thank you. Okay, moving right along. So we did the update from engineering, planning, development. We have some community services. Councillor Keating.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Community service project update. Staff has submitted a funding application for a COA to undertake the project. The areas of focus for the plan are branding and marketing, trail development, geopark. Staff are also organizing a committee consisting of provincial and federal partners, local business leaders, and other stakeholders. Tourism course. CNA students have submitted draft tourism for the region and will continue to work with staff to refine over the winter months so they are ready for the upcoming tourism season. Staff is working with YDF to have a better presence at the airport through photos, videos, and information packages for the Bay of Islands, Umber Valley, Cornerbrook areas. The Airport Authority has made progress on this project, and staff will visit the airport this week to get an update. Cruise season 2022. Staff in Cornerbrook Port are still hopeful that the 2022 cruise season will be the biggest and best yet. Staff are working with the port to develop the program while the port is undertaking a beautification project that will be an asset to tourism in the region. Staff are also open to those cruise passengers from the Sky Princess, 4,000 plus passengers on September 30th for the 2022 Colors of Cornerbrook Street Festival. Business is World Council on City Data 2020, Downtown Urban Design Plan, and the Special Tax Assistance for New Commercial Enterprise Program. Sustainability, the community gardens. Staff continues to work with Western Environmental Center, WEC, to develop a plan and proposal for the community gardens beyond the 2022 season. The focus will be establishing a new garden in the Curling and to make some upgrades to existing gardens. Staff are working with WEC to develop a plan to improve accessibility at the gardens, which will be provided to the Accessibility Committee for review in early 2022. The Trans-Canada Trail Project and Urban Forestry Project in partnership with CNA, Grenfell, Canadian Forestry Services, and MITAX. Staff are working to develop an urban forestry partnership and better policies to help sustain, protect, and manage the urban forest. And university partnerships. Staff is working with professors and other experts at Grenfell campus on a number of new city studio courses, research projects, and others. This include a course examining environmental toxicology, and a report on electric vehicle infrastructure and policy.
Okay,
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
thank you very much. And any questions there in that field? Okay, thank you. Moving right along. We have, I guess, an item we added there. Councillor Gill, if you would give us an update on the Community Partners Committee meeting we had last week.
Thank you. And I'll just note that I'm co-chair with Councillor Keeping. So Councillor Keeping, if there's anything that I say here that you want to add to, please feel free. We did have our second meeting and it was fruitful. We were able to establish solidly, I think, the 4 areas that we want to pursue. Now I'm talking off the top of my head, so let's see if I can remember them. So there's housing, youth, primary care, and I'm missing one. Pam?
Transportation.
Pardon me?
Transportation.
Transportation. Of course, transportation. And after we established those committees, we reached out to a number of people that we thought would want to be members of the subcommittees, because what I want everyone to understand is that the people that are on the overarching committee, Community Services Committee, we can recruit people from the community as well to be part of the subcommittees. So we've already been successful in recruiting somebody from the Grenville Campus Student Union, for instance, to be on the Transportation Committee. And I know that we've had feedback from some other people through to Jessica Smith, who's our legislative assistant. She's been awesome at keeping track of all the cats, herding the cats. And there's so many people that want to be part of this committee, and rightly so. It's so important that we try to work together and accomplish something. So one thing that we did all agree on was that we wanted to be action oriented. So I think what we're going to see coming out of this last meeting is identifying a project that we can move forward on for each of these 4 areas. And so that'll be, we already determined a couple of those as a result of projects that are already in the works with partners. But I'm hoping that within the next, I'm going to say month and a half, we're going to be identifying the projects that we're going to move forward on for the other committees. Not meaning to belabor it. I don't want to run on. Pam, is there anything else that you'd like to say?
No, it's good.
Okay.
So, I think so. And Mayor Parsons, I know that you were at our last committee, so I don't know if what I've stated here is apropos or not, but I don't know if you have anything you'd like to add.
No, I think that's great. I think, as you said, it's important, but it's good to focus the work and sort of try and pick off certain problems there. So good on you guys, doing a great job. Let's keep the momentum going.
Trying not to get lost in the weeds and trying to be project focused.
That's right.
Thanks.
Okay. Thank you very much. Next, Councillor Pender. We have some just information on our favorite subject in the world, taxes.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, tax bills are out. They were issued on January 14th for property and business taxes, which account for $28.4 million of our $35.5 million annual budget for 2022. Taxpayers are reminded that the due date for property taxes is the end of February, with business taxes due by the end of March. Taxpayers also have many options to choose from in order to make their payments. They can do it online through their financial institutions and online banking. They can do it pre-authorized or direct debit. Credit card can be used, but it has to be used through Pay Simply, which is a third-party provider and which also charges a fee for use, which I guess is a percentage of the amount. It can be sent, obviously, by the mail, a check. And at City Hall as well, anybody who wishes to pay directly, we are currently open for regular hours 8 to 5. You can pay by cash, check, or debit. In addition to that, Mr. Mayor, City would like to remind residents of their access to Virtual City Hall on the city's website. Virtual City Hall provides property owners with the ability to review their balances and transactions on their property for business tax accounts. Users can also view their property assessments and manage their billings online. So for more information or for signing up for that service, just visit www.cornerbrook.com/VCH Virtual City Hall. Taxpayers are encouraged to contact the city at 637-1500 if they have any questions or inquiries in regards to their tax bills or payment options. So with that, Mr. Mayor, I don't know if there's any questions.
No, I don't see any hands. So, Councillor Griffin.
Yeah, I was asked, could the individuals use their credit card if they're willing to pay the that percentage cost?
Yep, and again, I think as Councillor Pender mentioned, we do have a third-party app there you can use, Pay Simply, and they will have to pay that fee. You know, everyone's eager to get their air miles. Hopefully soon we'll get to go somewhere. Okay, any other questions there? Okay, thank you very much. This one's a very short report. Councillor Pender.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, speaking of going somewhere or literally going nowhere, City of Corner Brook Council Remuneration and Reimbursement Regulation states that a summary of council travel expenditures by councillors will be provided to council semi-annually and reported on at a public meeting. To follow this regulation, the council travel report is presented. And as everybody can pretty well assume, Mr. Mayor, this current council or in the last 4 months have not gone anywhere. So there are no costs for travel during the last 6 months or whatever you want to say. Nobody should be surprised about that.
No.
There you have it.
No, the only one happy about that is Dale Park. Yeah. Okay, I assume there's no questions there. So we'll move right along to Deputy Mayor Chason. Some update about what's going on at the Civic Center. We've had some business, no business, but I guess busy times for sure.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Can you hear me okay?
Perfect.
Okay. In the fall of 2021, the Civic Center experienced a leak in the communication cable entering the center's main electrical room. Upon review with the center's electrical contractor, it was deemed not to be a safety issue, but would require further review and monitoring. Shortly after this time, the center encountered more water with the irregular rainfall and weather patterns. The subsequent increase in water was close to proximity with the main electrical feed to the center. At this point, it was determined emergency plans would need to be put in place to rectify the situation. In the month of January, the situation worsened and water was entering the electrical room over the main feed to the studio. The center was closed on January 13th as the situation was deemed unsafe to operate. Work happened immediately with electrical service provider to rectify the situation, and the center was open on January the 14th after it was deemed safe. Work to correct the safety issue related to water entering the main electrical are scheduled to begin on Monday, January 24th. That's today. It is expected this work will take 7 days to complete and will involve supplying power to the center and studio via generator. Currently, the center has ice into Kinsman Kinsman Arena. However, ice was removed from the main arena due to COVID restrictions and demands. Ice will be reapplied to the main arena post-electrical project and sufficient demand by users. The scope of the project is substantial and will entail pulling electrical and communication wires back to the pole, digging outside the room, creating trenching to eliminate water, while reinstalling and sealing the electrical infrastructure prior to re-engaging power. Throughout the project, there will be some disruptions, including communication equipment, for example, the internet and phones. The IT department is assisting with providing alternate connections for billing automation system. As a result, tenants have been informed of disruption. However, primary business activities for the tenant should not be impacted. Civic Center administration staff will work from home throughout this period, and IT department is assisting with the transfer of phones to staff and communication to the public. While the electrical project will begin on Monday, January 24th, the new interpretation for COVID public health guidelines related to recreation activity will be revealed on Wednesday and Thursday, January 19th and 20th. This new interpretation of restrictions are now allowing the recreational activity to begin with skills and drills. No games are permitted at this time. However, low-intensity sport practices have been approved. Users have been contacted for both the arena and the gym, gauging interest and comfort level with continuing under new guidelines. Monday, January 24th, minoring program will be reintroduced for practices in the Kinsman Arena. The current schedule is completely filled with hours after school and weekends. Programming in the gym will begin on Wednesday, January 26th. Staff continue to work with users to safely return to play and create schedules based on demand and individual risk tolerance level. The reintroduction of sport practices, training, fitness activities in the studio will coincide with the conclusion of the COVID testing clinic at the studio. The last day of testing was Sunday, January 23rd, and all Western Health equipment is scheduled to be removed on the evening of the 24th. Preparations will begin on Tuesday to reintroduce the sport on Wednesday. The centre is also pleased to be able to expand the walking track hours on Monday and Friday to include evening walking from 4 to 9. Patrons must enter the centre at the Kinsman entrance for evening walking hours. Note, the walking track will be closed on Monday, January 24th, which is today. You guys are almost finished that now today. General skating will not be available at this time. However, it is expected to return upon completion of the electrical project. Weekend, family, and public skate will be introduced with the opening of the main arena. The centre will be announcing new walking track hours and information regarding public skates through social media and information lines. Thank you. That was long. There's a lot of information there. Are we gonna publish? Put this on our page, Mr. Mayor?
Yeah, there will definitely be, I guess, communication going out on our channels for that.
Yeah, because there's a lot of real good information there.
Absolutely. Any other questions about that? Yes, go ahead, Councillor Pender.
Just a question, Mr. Mayor. Did the project get underway today as anticipated? I know we were waiting for a generator and so on. Were we able to start?
Mr. Park?
Yeah, so the project was able to start this morning, and it took, a lot of effort, a lot of coordination from a number of various departments, from our OH&S department, our IT department, of course, Civic Center staff, Public Works, Water and Sewer, plus our electrical contractor and our civil contractors. So a lot of work, a lot of coordination to take place to get that started today. As always with some of these projects, a few little small glitches, but nothing that was insurmountable, nothing that couldn't be resolved. So at this point, knock on wood, we're still expecting to be able to maintain the timeline that we've established and for the project to take about a week.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, any other questions? Yes, Councillor Gill?
Just to be clear from a communications perspective, all these updates that we read are always published, right?
In some form or another, yeah. Sometimes they're pieced out depending on if they.
But there's usually, yeah, okay. Thank you.
Okay, any other questions on this? Okay, thank you very much for that update. Next, and a very good news story here. Winter Carnival, Councillor Keeping. We've got some. We don't have carnival as usual, but we do have something going on.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Winter Carnival, Winterlude. Organized by Canadian Heritage, Winterlude is an annual festival that takes place in Ottawa during February to celebrate the Canadian climate. This year, the Corner Brook Winter Carnival will be hosting the ice sculpturing competition portion of the 44th annual celebration. While in-person events will not be happening due to public health guidelines, the ice carving competition will continue. The theme for 2022 is Olympics and Paralympics. Representing every one of Canada's provinces, teams of 2 sculptures will have 20 hours to sculpt 15 blocks of ice to create the work of art. Newfoundland and Labrador sculptors are a father and son duo, Steve and Jonathan Watson from St. John's. The event will take place February the 5th, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., and February the 6th from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Public voting will open on February 11th and continue through February 20th on the Winterloo website. Winners will be announced February 21st, 2022. For more information, please visit www.canada.ca Winterloo. Activities will be delivered in a safe and effective manner with no environmental impact to city property. Public health guidelines will be followed regarding COVID-19. It should be a really good weekend, hopefully.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. Yeah, that sounds like a little bit of brightness there. Did I see, Mr. Park, did you have something to say there?
Yeah, I just one thing I guess is not officially in the background information that Councillor Keeping just presented, and I guess technically Canada Heritage has asked that the location not be disclosed in order to help restrict congestion or people for at the locations. But I think it's fair to say that the site in front of City Hall has been cleared of snow, and it's been cleared of snow for a reason.
Yeah.
Subtle as always, Mr. Park. So just so everyone knows, I'm giving Dale a hard time tonight. This is his last public council meeting, but we'll get to that later. We're not picking on him, any more than normal, but that's why tonight. Councillor Griffin, we have to bring forward an honorarium related to the design build for the Corner Brook Regional Recreation Center. If you would, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. 3 design build teams took part in the invited request for proposals process earlier this year. There's a high level of effort required to put together a proposal for a project of this size and scope, and is typical for the unsuccessful design build teams to receive an honorarium for that effort once the city enters into a contract with this successful design build team. Staff have been working on a contract with the highest scoring design build team and are now comfortable that the city can enter into a design build contract. Therefore, it is time to release the $75,000 HST included to each of the 2 unsuccessful design build teams as per the RFP documents. Be it resolved that the Council of the City of Corner Brook approved the release of a $75,000 HST included honorarium to each Lindsay Construction and Marco Group for a total of $150,000 HST included, as per the Corner Brook Regional Recreational Center request for proposal documents. I so move.
Okay, thank you. A seconder on that?
I
There we
second.
go. Okay, thank you, Councillor Keeping. Okay, questions on this item? Yes, Councillor Gill?
Just want to make the note that I am not able to vote on this matter.
Okay.
Conflict of interest. Work at Granville campus. Thank you.
So yeah, I assume that no one has problems with Councillor Gill declaring conflict here and abstaining. If so, say your piece. If not, you're in a conflict. There you go. Yep. Yes, Councillor Pender, you had your hand up there.
Yes, so some of us weren't on council when this was transpired, I guess, the agreement with the design build teams. So I'm just wondering if staff can explain the logic of awarding the $75,000 to the 2 unsuccessful design build teams so that the general public understands a little bit better the rationale behind this move.
Can do. Mr. Charters, this is your department. If you would.
Sure. Through you, Mr. Mayor. This is very typical with a design build project of this scope and magnitude. As the report says, it is a lot of effort to put together a proposal. They've gone through a lot of steps, a lot of hoops to get to this point. Even though they were unsuccessful, they did a lot of work. And like I said, it is very typical and it's expected that you would be paid for that submission. So this is honoring that commitment that was noted in our request for proposals document. So everybody was aware that they would be getting this if they're unsuccessful.
Okay. Any other
Mr.
questions? Okay, Deputy Mayor. Yeah.
Just a quick question for Director Charters. Have we ever done this before in any bills that we've ever
Mr. Charters?
done in the city? Has it ever been done? Isn't it the public know?
Yes, as I understand it, the water treatment plant was done via design build methods, and honorarium was given at that time as well.
Okay. Any other questions?
Mr. Mayor, I'm just going to, if I may, I'm just going to say I'm not comfortable with the idea. I'm not familiar with it either, so I won't be supporting the motion.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions? Okay. Well, surely we need to honor our contracts, and we do have an agreement in place with these companies. So, I guess like it or not, it's just really a question about whether or not we're going to honor our commitments to these companies. If I will take this to a vote, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Counterminded?
Nay.
Okay, we got that. 1 nay. Thank you. Done. Next, we have another one, Councillor Griffin. We have retaining wall replacement contracts. So this is related to, I guess, some of the multi-year capital work we're doing.
Again, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Background information bids were requested for the removal and replacement of 3 deteriorating retaining walls located at 55 Gibbons Avenue, 21 East Avenue, and 200 Petrie Street. 5 tenders were received on December 2nd, 2021, and the results are as follows. C. Barnes Excavating, $283,312.85, HSC included. Tech Construction, 2012, limited, $289,685, HSC included. Pathway Construction Limited, TB, $323,474.50, HSC included. Marine Contractors, $424,953.75, HST included. West Coast Excavating Equipment Company Limited, $453,393.25, HST included. Staff have reviewed the bids and found them to be in order and recommend awarding the contract to C. Barnes Excavating. Be it resolved that the Council of the City of Corner Brook award the tender to C. Barnes Excavating in the amount of $283,312.85, HSC included, for the retaining wall replacement contract 2021-31. I so move.
Thank you. Would someone like to second that? Councillor Pender? Okay. Questions on this item?
I have a question, Mr. Mayor, if I may.
Go ahead.
So these are, because we've had a lot of issues with retaining walls over the years, so these are going to go back, I guess, different than the existing retaining walls. I know we adopted in the past different methods of dealing with these. I'm just wondering if we can get a little more information on what the actual scope of work will be for these retaining walls.
Mr. Charters?
Sure, through you, Mr. Mayor. We don't typically specify in these types of projects what exactly or how exactly the work is done. What we do specify is what we want replaced. So we want these walls replaced. We would like all the drainage issues associated with them as well fixed. And in the end, we leave it up to the designers to come up with the way that they would like to do it. Now, that said, typically is some type of block wall system, which is very effective systems, but so that's probably what you will see there in the end. But again, it's not our job to tell them exactly how to do it. That'll cost us a lot of money and cause us a lot of grief. So we leave it up to the designers and the contractors. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Any other questions? Yes, Deputy Mayor.
Okay, so it says on the end the contract is $283,312. The engineering included. So who provides the engineering? Us or the ones we gave the contract to?
Mr. Chair, who did the engineering on this?
I don't recall who the consultant was on this particular one. My apologies. I will find that out, but that was done earlier.
Yeah.
Probably done a couple of months ago. So that's where that engineering cost comes from. I will find that out though.
And that's already paid. That's already paid, right?
That's right.
Probably,
Excuse me, Mr. Mayor, I believe that Mr. Chair.
Go ahead,
Councillor Gill, I don't know if you're getting a delay. I have not. I was asking Director Charters a quick question. So that's already paid, is it, Director Charters?
Actually, ask me the questions, please.
Or is it in the total cost? Okay, so is it already paid or is it coming out of the amount at the end? That's all I want to know. The total cost is $326,000. So what do we give the contract in for?
Mr. Charters?
The work hasn't clearly started yet for the contractor, so the work has not been paid, the 283. There have been some payment issued for the design, but the design isn't 100% complete yet. They'll also have contract administration fees in there as well. So you'll see that $40,000 paid out over the length of the contract, essentially. But most of it is paid out now, yes.
Okay, yes.
Thank you, Director Charters.
Councillor Gill?
I apologize, Deputy Mayor. I didn't mean to speak over you at all. I thought that Mr. Charters had already completed his answer. I just wanted to say that this stuff comes up in the meeting that I have regularly, and I know that this is all documented, so it's easily to come across. And I'm sure that Mr. Charters can provide that information, no problem. That's all I was going to say.
Okay. Thank you. Yes, Mr. Charters.
My very keen staff just notified me that DMG Consultants did the work on this project. So, Scott.
Yeah.
Thank you, Director Charters.
So yes, so everyone knows, typically we will award a PCA for this, which would include design services and supervision of the work as well. So in this case, Mr. Charters, I assume that inspection supervision of the work so that it meets the spec would be included in the previously awarded contract. And then the contractor, of course, does the build based on the supplies requested by the design.
That's correct. Yes.
Thank you. Okay, any other questions on this one? Okay, let's take it to a vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Contraminded? Carried. Thank you very much. Next, Mount Bernard Avenue reconstruction. Councillor Granter.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and I'm sure residents right throughout the city will be appreciative of this piece of work that's going to take place the next little while. The Department of Transportation and Infrastructure approved funding for the Mount Bernard Avenue reconstruction under the Investing in Canada Infrastructure Program. The scope of the project includes the replacement of approximately 1,100 meters of domestic water main, water transmission main, trunk sewer, storm sewer, new curb, new gutter, sidewalk, and asphalt. The project aims to improve water and sewer infrastructure and add the necessary capacity to the trunk sewer for wastewater from the new acute care hospital. It will also provide an improved driving surface and street drainage, which will reduce maintenance. Be it resolved that the Council of the City of Corner Brook accept funding as outlined in the Department of Transportation and Infrastructure Project Approval Letter dated December 21st, 2021, to complete the project under the Investing in Canada Infrastructure Program. The Corner Brook City Council authorizes the mayor and the city manager to sign the Municipal Infrastructure Fund agreement with the Department of Transportation and Infrastructure on behalf of the city of Corner Brook. And the financial impact is $8,058,874, of which the federal government and the provincial government provided equal amounts, nearly $3 million each, and the city of Corner Brook $1.461 million. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So moved.
Thank you. Seconder on that one?
Second that, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, thank you very much. Questions on this?
I do have a question, Mr. Mayor, if I may.
Go ahead.
Just on the scope of the project, and I think I raised this issue before while we're doing the project. I'm very pleased that we're able to get the funding for that, and I congratulate our staff and everyone who worked on it. But I did have a question on the sidewalks, I guess, and cycling lanes, or the possibility of integrating while the work is being done. Space for people to be able to cycle up safely up and down Mount Bernard Avenue. It is a very busy street, and it connects our junior high, our high school, and our university and CNA is in close proximity. So a very busy street, and just to encourage green transportation, and maybe there's other funds can be had for this, but I just want to put a plug in again for the possibility of including cycling lanes along the length of Mount Bernard when this work gets done.
Okay, thank you very much. Anything else there? Any other questions? Comments? Okay, thank you very much. Yes, this is a very important project, and of course, thanks staff getting this straightened away. Very important. Of course, we can't open our acute care hospital without it. Also, of course, it's a great opportunity to rebuild that road, which is again a constant source of aggravation for I'm sure motorists or public works staff. And others who've had to make endless repairs, especially at the surface, and also with our sanitary sewer. So, great opportunity here for the city to pay 20 cents on the dollar for a new road reconstruction type project. So, any other questions here before we take a vote on accepting the funding? Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Counter-minded? Carried. Thank you very much. And following on that, we have an RFP, Councillor Granter.
Thanks again, Mr. Mayor. The RFD is intended to address the selection of a prime consultant related to the Mount Bernard Avenue reconstruction project. The Mount Bernard Avenue reconstruction project is funded under the Green Infrastructure stream of the Investing in Canada infrastructure program and consists of the replacement of the domestic water transmission main, trunk sewer, storm sewer, new curb gutter, asphalt, and sidewalk. The City of Corner Brook requested proposals to select a prime consultant for the project. Proposals were received from 7 firms and were evaluated by a committee, staff, and province in accordance with the RFP evaluation criteria. Based on that evaluation, the committee has selected the preferred proponent. Be it resolved that the Council of the City of Corner Brook approves the consultant fee proposal from Dillon Consulting Limited in the amount of $451,852.25, HST included, for consulting services related to the Mount Bernard Avenue reconstruction project. So moved, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you very much. Would someone like to second that? Okay, we got Deputy Mayor there. Any questions on this one? So as before, of course, this is the first step in terms of any capital project is typically a design and a design bid build. So this is to get the design work completed so we can go to tender.
Mr. Mayor, if I may, just one question. Dillon Consulting, I'm not familiar with them, but are they a local company or Newfoundland based or?
Mr. Charters?
Through Mr. Mayor, they're a very large nationwide company. They do have offices and a lot of staff in St. John's and on the island. I'm not aware if they have anything in Corner Brook specifically, but they're a large company with a lot of capability and experience in these types of projects.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Any other questions? Okay. If there are no other questions, I'll take it to a vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Counter-minded? Carried. Thank you very much. Another good news story here. Councillor Gill, a collective agreement with QP 4386.
Great news, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations to both our workers in the union and also to our management staff that worked through this. Excellent, excellent work. The agreement the substantive changes. These will be posted online. Yes?
Mhm.
Okay, good. So I'm just going to read those out briefly. So there's going to be a 4-year agreement from January 1 to December 31, January 1, 2022 to December 31, 2025. 8% wage increase over 4 years. 2%, 2%, 2%, 2%. It's good. Number of wording clarifications and improvements, which people can avail of if they're interested, and that our staff are confident that the increased costs as a result of this agreement are within the financial parameters that were set by us in our budget. And so, therefore, be it resolved that the Council of the City of Corner Brook approve the ratification of the labor agreement with the Canadian Union of Public Employees, Local 4386, for the period ended December 31st, 2025. Recommendation is, that's it, right? That's all I say. Yes, I'm sorry. That's it, right? Yeah, okay.
Would someone like to second that?
Second that, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Okay, questions on this item? Okay. I think the documentation sort of spells it out there. Again, some minor changes and improvements for everyone involved, and again, consistent with our wage increase mantra. Any questions before we vote? Okay. All those in favor say aye.
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 Compromised? Carried. Thank you very, very much, and congratulations. And again, I look forward to sitting down and getting this agreement signed with everyone over at 4386. Next, we have Councillor Pender, lease agreement with the City of the Western Newfoundland for parking.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. As council probably knows and staff are aware that we've had some parking spots arranged to be leased through the Dawson Synod of Western Newfoundland at 25 Main Street, just behind the Anglican Church there. And we did have a 5-year agreement which expired in 2021. For that 5 years, previous 5 years, we had 20 parking spots. Staff did a review of these the parking, I guess, and how it was being used over the fall, and determined that maybe we didn't need all 20. So it was agreed to approach the Diocesan Synod of Western Newfoundland and to enter into a 1-year agreement for 10 parking spots, so half of what we had in the past. And by doing that, we're looking at saving the city about a little over $6,000. We were paying $12,480 annually, and that will now be reduced to $6,240 annually. And of course, staff will continue to monitor those parking spaces and see if they're being and how well they're being used. But I guess with the discussion we had in committee the other day with COVID as well, there are fewer people at City Hall, so maybe fewer or less need for that. So, Mr. Mayor, there's a recommendation there to resolve to approve the execution of the lease agreement between the City of Corner Brook and the Dawson Synod of Western Newfoundland for the additional parking for Corner Brook City Hall located at 25 Main Street. And if approved, the city will pay a rental of $6,240 for the year for the 10 spots. So moved.
Thank you. Seconder on that?
Second, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Questions on that? No, pretty straightforward, I think. Okay, let's take it to a vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Contraminded? Carried. Thank you very much. Okay, we have a couple of discretionary uses for home-based businesses. 131 Philitry Avenue, Councillor Gill.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So we delivered a notice to the residents in the immediate area of 131 Philitry Avenue indicating that the proposed home-based business, which is a computer and precision electronic equipment repair and maintenance business, and no submissions were received. Therefore, be it resolved that the Council of the City of Corner Brook approve the application to operate a home-based business from the dwelling located at 131 Philitry Avenue in accordance with Regulation 11, discretionary powers of authority.
Okay, thank you. Someone like to second that motion? Thank you, Councillor Griffin. Questions on this one?
I have a question there, Mr. Mayor. I probably know the answer, but just for the public, there's an extra, I guess, what is the fee that the property owner will pay for the business being located in their home? The annual fee, I should say, or tax, if you want to put it that way.
And Mr. Park, what's the home-based business fee this year?
The home-based business fee is $270.
$270.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. It's just so people know that when people do put a business in their home, there is an additional fee that they pay for that privilege.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Any other questions there? Okay, let's vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Contrary-minded? Carried. Next, another home-based business at 308 Curling Street.
And this is me as well, yes?
That's you as well, yeah.
I love home-based businesses. It's a good thing. So a notice was delivered to residents in the immediate area of 308 Curling Street indicating the proposed home-based business. Okay, that's not right. But anyway, that's okay. As a result of the notice, no submissions were received. Everything's been reviewed by our staff. So I'm just trying to see now. Home-based business, sorry. I did read this before, I swear. Be resolved that maybe I didn't read it before. Tisk on me for not doing my homework. What is the business?
It's a real estate office.
Yeah, it's not in the RFP, but back in if you look at the application file there, it says real estate office, that's all.
Okay, so it's not in the actual document that I'm reading right now, just so that our viewers don't think I'm a complete idiot. So at any rate, it's a real estate office. And so be it resolved that that the Council of the City of Corner Brook approved the application to operate a home-based business office from the dwelling located at 308 Curling Street in accordance with Regulation 11, discretionary powers of authority. So moved.
Someone like to second that? There you go. Councillor Griffin, thanks. Questions on this one? And again, for the benefit of anyone watching, when these discretionary home-based businesses come up, staff will often look at things like the nature of the business, how much traffic and parking that they would require, and whether or not it's suffice for what they're doing. It's not to cause disruption. Okay. So any other questions? Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Counter-minded? Carried.
Mr.
Yes.
If I might just add something here, just for the purposes of the public, these packages are provided to us and we are assigned to certain things that we read out in these meetings so that not everyone is saying everything all the time and we meet it out among ourselves. And so I just want to make that point because I only read this yesterday. And so I feel like I wasn't, I didn't educate myself well enough before this meeting and I apologize.
No, thank you very much. Okay, and we have another good news story here. Attendant pass program for persons with disabilities. Councillor Chason, or Deputy Mayor Chason, sorry.
This is not a good news story. It's probably an excellent story, and it's one that we have worked on from our Accessibility and Inclusive Committee. And I guess before I read out all the background information, I would like at this time to hand out a special kudos to Megan Penney, who was on our committee and who brought this forward to the city. And I'm very proud of it tonight, and I'm going to read it with great pride. City of Corner Brook recognizes that for some individuals with disabilities, it's difficult to attend activities and events without assistance. An attendance pass allows people with disabilities to participate in the recreation activity and events of their choice with the support of an attendant. The attendants will be permitted to attend a recreation activity and events free of charge when providing support for the person living with a disability. Attendance pass applications and information can be found on the City of Corner Brook's website. The proposed resolution, it is resolved to approve the new policy for attendance pass program for persons with disabilities policy as attached. I so move.
Thank you very much.
Second, Mr. Mayor.
Seconded by Councillor Granter. Thank you. Questions on this one? Yes, go ahead, Deputy Mayor.
I'd also, I guess, like to thank Mr. Park, even though this is maybe his last meeting. He worked very hard trying to get this all put together. And Dale, thank you for your patience with me and for getting this through today. I tell you, it's a great one. Thank you very much.
Do you any other questions on this one?
Yeah, I'll just make a comment. I sat on that committee as well with Councillor Deputy Mayor Chason, and it's a good example, we talked about earlier in this meeting, of some committee work that gets done in relationship to members of the community, members of residents of the community of Corner Brook that actually have gone through numerous items over the last couple or 3 years and have brought recommendation forward out at the committee level. And this is a good example of people putting their heads together, coming up with an idea, and now bringing it to fruition if it passes. And I think it will.
Yeah, I don't think you'll have a problem. Councillor Gill?
Just want to say congratulations. It's excellent.
Yeah. And again, I think while we're giving out kudos here, I guess the rec team, Jessica Parsons and Robin over there do work on this with Dale, of course. And I think Mr. Park is nodding there. It looks like they actually, they were the, he doesn't do any work. Dale Park doesn't. He just makes everyone else work hard. So kudos to them for doing the research here and getting it done for our accessibility committee. Great job. So I think I can take that safely to a vote. All those in favor, say aye.
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 Counter-minded. Okay, carried. Now that's the last item on our agenda, but as I mentioned, it is Mr. Park's last meeting, and he did ask me for 30 seconds or so to say a few words on our dime. So go ahead, Dale.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. And I guess I will say it's going to be longer than 30 seconds, but what are you going to do about that right now? And I had some nice things to say, and I might edit that for some of the things that you've said in the last hour. But generally, when I'm speaking at council, I provide facts and information. I've always tried to keep my comments factual. I've tried not to make comments that are personal or based on emotions or feelings. I'm going to break that mold tonight. I've written down some comments to try to keep my thoughts in order. At the end of this week, I will finish up my employment with the City of Corner Brook. In April, it would have been 15 years with the city. In reflecting back on my time with the city, I want to be able to focus on all the positives. While I'll always have many fond memories of my time with the city, it also became clear to me that personally, now was the time for change. I want to take this opportunity to thank some people and groups that have had a positive impact on me at the city for the past 15 years. I'd start by thanking my family, my wife, Jennifer, my son, Lucas, and daughter, Jessica. Their unwavering support for me over the years means the world to me. For the 2 or 3 times that I've ever had to go home and vent over a frustrating day or a tough meeting, they've always kept me grounded and focused on what matters most. Speaking of family, I want to thank my work family, past and present. While it may sound a little hokey to refer them as family, that's exactly what it is. We spend almost as much time together as we do with our home families. And like a family, it takes all kinds to make everything function. And like every family, we don't always agree and get along. There will be difference of opinions. There might even be an argument or two, and definitely a few tears. But there will also be lots of smiles, lots of good times, and lots of laughter. May even be that silly uncle or silly aunt that everybody rolls their eyes at, but at the end of the day, you're still family. To my co-workers, keep working together, keep fixing problems, and keep striving to make this beautiful city a better place to live and work. We have been through it all, births, deaths, and disasters. There's nothing that a strong team cannot overcome. I want to thank councillors and mayors, past and present, for their support over the past 15 years. We have certainly not always agreed on everything, but we have been able to work together to accomplish many great things. I would be remiss if I did not take this opportunity to especially acknowledge Bern's statement. For many years, Bern was the chair or vice chair of the Finance Committee. Of all the councillors I have worked the closest with Bern. Bern took me under his wing and became a mentor. His guidance and support will stay with me forever. I just mentioned a silly uncle. On that note, I'm going to miss the many debates and discussions with Mayor Parsons. Whether it was city-related, political-related, hockey-related, or life in general, Jim was always up for a debate and discussion. His combination of wisdom, perspective, persistence, and humor was refreshing. But I had to be honest. There were many times when I let Jim win the debate just so I could shut him up and get back to work. To my fellow directors, city clerk, and city manager, Rodney, Darren, Todd, Donnie, and Marina. I've had the honor to work closely with a great group of men and women in the senior management team. When I first started, I also had an amazing group of more experienced senior managers show me the ropes. I think back Wayne Ryan, Paul Barnable, Ned Whedon, Mike Dalter. While none of them are still with the city over the years, I've often thought about how they would react to the current issue or the current challenge that we're facing. Their words of wisdom have stayed with me through the years. Over time, my role has evolved from being the rookie to being the old guy. And I hope that I've been able to provide some support, just like I was supported early in my time with the city. Through it all, Marina Redmond has been a constant. She was here long before I started and will be here long after I'm gone. We have certainly seen some interesting things together. I want to thank the management team for all the constant support and cooperations. While I will certainly admit to my bias, the role of a senior manager in a municipality, not only a municipality, but any organization, is tough. No matter what decision or recommendation you make, there's likely one group, whether it's staff, residents, taxpayers, or council, will not be entirely pleased with the outcome or the recommendation. To the staff and finance and admin, legal, HR, land management, treasury, CSRs, and IT, words cannot express my thanks and appreciation for each of you. Over the years, we've been tackled many issues and challenges head on. There have rarely been a dull moment, but by working together, we have accomplished a lot. Keep doing what you're doing. Krista, who is going to drop into your office 5 minutes before quitting time with the latest challenge of the day? Thank you all from the bottom of my heart. I could spend an hour thanking each of you individually, but time does not permit that. I'm proud to be able to call you my coworkers and, more importantly, my friends. So Civic Center and Recreation. While I've only had official responsibility for the Civic Center and Recreation for about a year and a half, they've always been near and dear to my heart. I like to call this group the Department of Fun, but the reality is this group works really hard so that residents and users are able to have fun. COVID has been a challenge for this group, but they keep adapting and adjusting. There have been many great strides made already, and there is much more to come. Team GSD forever. And last, but certainly not least, Alicia Park. According to the organization chart, Alicia was my admin assistant. Many would know the reality was somewhat different. We all know who the boss really was. There was an internal joke that I could not keep an admin assistant. In my first 7 years with the city, I had 6 or 7 different admin assistants. And for the last 7 years, I've been able to keep one. Alicia has kept me organized, made sure I didn't miss a deadline or a meeting, and kept me grounded. She has done so much of the behind-the-scenes work that nobody will ever realize. I often refer to her as my right hand. I could not have done my job for the last 7 years without her. Besides being an amazing coworker, she's become a dear friend and really just like family. So I started by thanking my wife, Jennifer, and I'll finish with thanking my work wife, Alicia. Alicia, thank you for always being there for me no matter what. To conclude, I want to thank everybody for their contribution to the city over the years and their contribution to making my experience the experience that it has been. There are lots of challenges to come, but none are too big if everybody pulls together and works as a team or as a family. Personal opinions and perspectives cannot take precedence over what's best for the city. I'm not going far, and I know I will stay in touch with many of you. I may secretly even miss Monday evening meetings just a little bit. This is a thank you, but it's certainly not a goodbye. Thank you to everybody.
Thank you, Dale. Very well said. And even though I might be your crazy Uncle Dale, you're still older than me, buddy. So listen, I'm sure that over the next few days, everyone is going to have some kind words, or maybe not some kind words. Maybe they want you out of here. So listen, on behalf of the city and the council of the city of Corner Brook, I want to thank you for your service. You truly are a patriot when it comes to the city, and even though you're a come from away, so we're going to miss you. So I think we'll leave it there. I'm sure we can gush on about Mr. Dale Park. So with that, I'll let you get back to your Diet Pepsi there, Dale. Cheers, everyone. I'll declare this meeting adjourned. Council, we do have an in-camera session after this, so we'll say goodbye to Rogers. So just hold tight for a few seconds here. Thank you all.